Approaching Olive and Renault. Approaching San Fernando and Providencia.
Hello everybody, I'm pretty excited. Join me on this adventure down memory lane. So, Skylar, you're probably asking me through the comments, what in the world are you going to do in this video? Well, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be flying out of state. In fact, I'm going to be flying to the complete opposite side of the country. That's right, baby. West Coast is best coast, and East Coast is least coast. I'm going to be visiting my hometown because, well, I'm just nostalgic for it. I'm just very homesick, and I think it is worth the trip to be able to see the place where you not only were from, but also grew up in, you know, retreading your old stomping grounds. So flying out of the state that I currently live in, I have to do a layover in the state of New Jersey, more specifically Newark, New Jersey, where we had a delay, a pretty bad delay. Now originally, I thought this delay was specifically because of the weather conditions. As you can tell, it is very rainy and foggy, but it only got more foggy as time went on because I think the real reason was because of this motherfucker right here.
From Newark International Airport in New Jersey, you can see right there his plane is actually behind the three white planes, and it's backing up. You see those flashing lights right now? That is actually part of his motorcade. Former President Trump just arrived not moments ago.
Yeah, it's pretty possible that the delay was really because of the weather conditions, but you got to keep in mind as well that it did only get foggier as time went on. And I think the Secret Services owes me an apology. I'm just saying that if you know, you know. And you know that what happened to me was really fucked up. And for the record, no, I didn't get any actual pictures of Donald Trump in his face or his person. No, I didn't get that. I did get the plane, and I did get the motorcade, and it did really puzzle me at first. One thing that terrified me was sitting next to me was a mother and her daughter, and I didn't want people to get the impression that I supported Trump or that I was a fan of Donald Trump, but that I was just capturing a moment in history. And I think they caught on to that idea, but nevertheless, I was still paranoid of being fingered as a Trump supporter, which I am absolutely not a Trump supporter. I don't support this fucking criminal bastard, do you? I know where the Wii Spa thing happened. I'm sweating. You're gonna have to deal with that. It is summer. It's LA. Don't kill me in the comment section over my sweat. I'm a human being. Throughout this entire trip, I have never been lost. I mean, there's been a few, mistakes in navigation here and there, but I've never been lost. I know my way around LA pretty well. Right now, the goal is to find the Wilshire and Vermont bus stop, or the train station rather. Oh my god, I'm super sweaty, oh my god. Well, this video is not about Los Angeles specifically. Throughout Los Angeles, there is a lot of agitprop, wheat pasting, a lot of stickers just posted. The organizing scene in Los Angeles is alive and well, and I'm here for it. Also, a lot of you know that I love Kiki's delivery service. I've actually been here before. That particular platform used to be closed off, and I thought it was just a place where the metro would stop. I met somebody who offered me crack, and I said no, but, friendly person, Oh my god, his irony that was not lost on me. First thing I noticed while being here was the time zone, and it's just all of my friends who are central to America or West Coast, now they're either ahead of me or like we're the same time. So it's kind of trippy to me. And then there's people who are like back on the East Coast who are like, wow, you're in the future. Part of the reason why I never really got lost is because before, when I used to live in Los Angeles, I would ride the train all of the time. So navigating the metro system in Los Angeles isn't too hard for me to do at all. There were some recent changes that I had to catch up to, such as the B&D line, but other than that, like, this whole train system is like super easy to figure out. Not to mention the train system runs very frequently, so it's not too hard to catch a train even if you miss one. I hear from outsiders all the time that the trains aren't safe in LA, but if you mind your own business, you'll be fine. Like, for the most part. I finally made it. Burbank, California. This is where I grew up. This is my home. I'm actually sitting right across the street. Donut Hut. My grandma used to take me there when I was very little. I think it's family owned, but I'm not entirely sure. Right now, I'm actually heading towards George Isaiah Park, but we called it Olive Park. And, you know, it was like a hangout spot for a lot of us. This place used to be like a meeting spot where friends and I would meet up. It's a park that like had a lot of cool memories and shit. And I'm sitting right here at this bench that wasn't here before, next to all of this foliage. Kind of nice here, actually. I mean, I know it's in the sun, and I mean, you know, this, with the whole design of this, definitely intentionally trying to dissuade, like, houseless folks from curb sleeping. That's the gentrifying evils of LA and Burbank. You know, they say that crows remember faces. I remember in this spot when they had the table, took the pizza out on a date at this exact spot, but a crow shat on the pizza box while it was open, and it was like a huge turd. It splattered all over the place. It makes you wonder, you know. I mean, I don't want to point any fingers, but, you know, crows do remember faces. I hope I don't get my face shat on. Hello, Erica.
Hello.
This is my homie Erica. Erica and I got stoned at Olive Park for old time's sake. Today, just navigating Burbank has been extremely nostalgic and just a very, very good vibe all around. Just seeing the liveliness of the town and all of the moving parts that hold so many memories. I'm not even covering all of it in this video. Our sweaty asses just made it to the Back to the Future Burger King. In Back to the Future, I show you this spot because this is, again, my childhood. I used to go to this Burger King all the time with my grandfather. And of course, you can't go to Burger King without getting something extra fucking yummy. Like, oh my god, holy shit. So I'm more than certain you've heard me tell you this story before, but god damn it, I'm gonna tell you again. The Home Goods that you see over there used to be a Toys R Us, and that is the Toys R Us where I saw Sonic Adventure for the very first time, which I think all of you can argue changed my life forever. But like the former Toys R Us, there's so much that's different, like that Hobby Lobby. I'm actually about to head out because I just checked into my hotel. I got myself some motherfucking, what is it, lime cucumber Gatorade. Look at this shit, okay? I'm actually about to go do something else that I wanted to do while I was here, and that is to eat at Del Taco.
Get to Del Taco. They got a new thing called free shavakadu.
Unfortunately, I didn't get the free shavakadu, but I did get myself an 8-layer veggie burrito because that is what I used to get when I came to Del Taco. And of course, you gotta gel it up with the fries. I mean, the fries in the burrito, that is the ultimate combo right there. Alright, that's enough fooling around and chowing down. Let's get to some serious business. I'm gonna try to see if I can walk into Sega of America. Sega! Unfortunately, I got very unlucky. I am actually in Burbank. I'm really happy to be here. on Olive Boulevard. I'm happy to finally be back where I grew up. Speaking of which, I want to show you something I think is interesting. Welcome, friends, to San Fernando Boulevard. Probably the most busy part of town and the most commercial part of town, I might add. That right there where it says Orange Theory Fitness used to be a records shop called Backside Records. I've seen Touche Amore play there. It's actually on YouTube. But that right there is Cartoon Network. And that right there is the Burbank Police and Fire Station. That other building in the back used to be owned and like run by Deke. As commercial as it is, I think San Fernando Boulevard is just a little too commercial and a little too overrated for my liking. So instead I'm going to show you Glen Oaks Boulevard, which has the Burbank Public Library, which is a library that I used to frequent like all the time to rent movies, to check out One Piece manga. I even met Tracy West, the author of the Pokemon novels there. But we really need to continue on our journey through Glen Oaks Boulevard, and there's a reason why I'm coming out this way. What you are seeing here is the part of town that I spent the most time at. Not because it's the most fun part of town, but because it's where I lived. This is the part of town where I spent a majority of my childhood, with these Armenian bodegas and the Japanese restaurant, Foster's Freeze. Rafi's Market used to be fucking Blockbuster. I always loved these markets, and I love Pizza Man. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm just spilling out all of these happy memories that I have of this place and how much this place really just means to me on a subjective level, I might add. But as per usual, it is always interesting to see the new things that have come and gone over the years, such as that Pizza Man logo, and of course this toy store. I've noticed a lot of Armenian toy stores are popping up as of recently. Maybe the business owners are nostalgic for Toys R Us. But now I present to you all the street that I grew up on.
Going down, and let's go.
There are some things I'm not going to show in this video, such as my childhood home, the schools that I went to, and of course some of my old friends' houses. I just feel like that would be an invasion of privacy, not just to my friends, but also to the people who currently reside there. That said, this place is extremely scenic, and I think I really love this place for it. It's like a weird blend between suburban and the urban sprawl, even though it can be a little trashy at times. But I blame the city of Los Angeles and the city of Burbank for spending more money on policing than they do on community outreach, but I digress. This is the part of town that you don't see if you're a tourist. And I really want people to know that this is more than just a tourist spot. This is my home. And it's a home to a lot of other people, a lot of working class people, I might add. People live their entire lives in towns like this. People have stories to share and memories, just like myself. I'm not unique in this respect. We all have good and bad memories of this place. That building right there, if my memory serves me well, this building right here was on fire.
I think there's a fire.
Helicopter! Oh my god, it's down the street.
One thing I really hate about traffic is the fact that cars slow down to see what the hell's going on, when really they should be moving because that's what causes accidents. I'm gonna try to get as close as I can without getting too close. I forget what that is. I think that was a thrift store. This place here is starting to look like Hollywood almost, because like the biggest attraction. Oh my god, it's a freaking fire.
And that's the Marriott. It is the mundane part of town, but there's just something, I don't know. Is it nostalgia that's just clouding myself? Because maybe it just gives off the feelings of more innocent and simpler times. Like the time that I went into the Holiday Inn buildings to navigate them and also to go into the back rooms. Not to mention their very beautiful garden that I did not get any footage of. And that's another thing too, because that's something I used to do in all of the buildings in Burbank. Not just IKEA, but also the mall. Going into the back rooms of all these weird facilities and stuff. But now, I really want to show you something that I think is subjective to me, but I think it's magical. Come along, everyone. When it comes to city planning, I think they did a fantastic job with Burbank. Right now we're on Front Street, and under that bridge is Verdugo. Verdugo, of course, connects to the Verdugo Mountains, but Front Street connects to, well, I would argue, the rest of the entire city. If you were walking on foot, this would be the street you would want to take in order to get to your destination, if your destination was like on the opposite side of town and you didn't want to take the bus. Although due to the 5 freeway, it's a pretty noisy route, but I think there's something particularly special about this street. Alright everyone, listen up, because I'm only gonna, I don't know, say this once. I got one chance at this take here. This site is like so special to me. So this is the Burbank Metrolink station. This is where it counts. This is what makes the trip absolutely fucking worth it. Look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful this like absolutely stunning sunset is. I wonder if the elevator still works. It looks like it is. Oh my gosh. It is extremely loud outside. I got here as fast as I fucking could. Oh, tell me if this isn't worth it. This is absolutely worth it. Yeah, this is more like the center of the town, but you can really see all of the different moving parts from this vantage point. Just taking it all in, like in sheer awe and wonder. And I'm really glad that I got a little bit of sunlight left. Probably the most beautiful time of day for Burbank, if I'm gonna be real with you. But this part of town is really awesome because it not only connects you to the opposite side of the town, but it also connects you to the center of town. Because right now, as pedestrians, we are on top of a crossable train station. I just love trains. I always loved trains. I don't know what it is, if it's Thomas or if it's Travel Town, which I did not go to on my trip this time around, or if it's just the sense of adventure that trains really just give to pedestrians and non-drivers. It's also good for houseless folks who are trying to get from one place to another because, well, houseless folks don't have a home. And that makes the IKEA location that much more egregious. I'm gonna try to catch it while it's departing. I'm like really excited. This is awesome. It's like all trains and shit. This is cool. Almost missed it, y'all.
fucking missed it.
Yeah, this train station explicitly reminds me of my childhood, because if I wanted to go anywhere, that's what this place was for. This place was there to help me get around town, and I got myself a 7-Up. The Pepsi is from Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies.
It literally feels like I live here again. Like, straight up. It literally feels like I just came back to like a large portion of my life. I'm happy to be able to, like, you know, experience it and to kind of like just be out here and just unashamedly like just expressing how happy I am to finally be here. I just needed this. You know what I mean? I needed this shit. I needed this. And I'm so happy to fucking have it. You know, I have a lot of friends who have supported me over the years, and honestly, I'm just really happy that y'all have been around to keep me, like, alive, to be able to do fun shit like this. So, I'm really happy to be able to do this with y'all. I'm happy to have made a new channel so that I could, you know, express to the world, like, just how based it is to go to your hometown. I really want to know, like, have any of y'all done that? Like, have any of y'all, like, ever grew up somewhere or spent like a large portion of your life somewhere, and you leave for an extended period of time and you return and it's like, damn, it clicks, you know? We're still here. Life goes on. You know, like, things are different. You know, the roots are here. You know, there's so much shit that comes out. I have people coming up to me, asking me for directions even. Like, where can I find this? Do you know? Over there. Where can I find that? Over there. Like, I'm from here, y'all. It's crazy. I love it. I love being able to do that. I love being able to, like, find all these other places that have some kind of major significance on my life, and to be able to share that with people. I think that's so cool, and I'm glad to be alive to do that. It makes me really happy to be able to do that.
There's a lot of criticisms that I have of not just Burbank, but also Los Angeles as a whole county. For one, this whole area is financially unacceptable. And I can understand that from the standpoint of somebody who is looking to perhaps move to Burbank or Los Angeles, but from somebody who was born and raised here, well, shit, it feels like my home was taken away from me. You've heard me mention gentrification various times throughout this video, and that's because that's what this city has been subjected to. There's a lot of new fancy shit meant to attract tourists, but at the end of the day, it kicks out the low-income and working-class people who live here. Not to mention some of the most shady businesses like Disney and Warner Brothers, although not depicted in this video, are here too.
All I'm saying is that I don't think Dan Schneider deserves millions of dollars on paid leave. I don't think that we should silence the victims, and I think we should believe victims. And lastly, for legal reasons, fuck you. That is my opinion.
Burbank, California, where dreams are crushed. It's here, baby.
As I walk into this off-street that is more of an industrial district of the city than anything else, I began to remember the long, quiet nights of just walking in the city with like almost nobody around, and maybe like 1 or 2 cars just whizzing by. And you know what? I feel like sometimes I talk about Burbank, California, like Ash Ketchum talks about Pallet Town from the Kanto region, because I know that this particular video is not going to convince any majorly bougie tourists to come to Burbank on these premises alone. Tourists are more interested in stupid bullshit like the Hollywood Walk of Fame and the Chinese Amphitheater. And so I needed to catch the 94 bus to get back to my hotel because it was getting late and operating hours for the Metro bus were slimming. And I imagined myself walking up this bridge again, imagining what would happen if I ran into Eddie Burbank on the top of this bridge. Just imagining a conceptual bit in my head as to maybe if I met Eddie Burbank in Burbank as a meme, as a joke, as a pun. But I think Eddie Burbank is too important to hang out with a sweaty trans girl like myself. I stayed in Los Angeles for multiple days, and I didn't record my entire trip to Los Angeles just simply because I wanted to have some days to myself, some personal time, some time to chow down, to relax, to enjoy my time off away from home. So that means my little trip to Little Tokyo did not get recorded, but I did hang around MacArthur Park for a little bit. While I was homeless during the height of the pandemic, I lived here. I actually stayed here when things were really hectic during the pandemic. And I'm glad that even though this is not specifically Burbank, I got a chance to really show people what it's like to be here. I love MacArthur Park because it's such a beautiful place, just very scenic overall. And it's centralized in a neighborhood in Los Angeles that is very, very, very cultivated of Guatemalan families, peoples, workers, although this is a place where LAPD tend to harass houseless people once again. A regular thing as you've heard throughout my video. My feelings on Los Angeles as a region is very complicated, and that's because I grew up in the region. On the one hand, I love the people that are from here. I love the culture, the subculture, the music scene, the art scene. There's pretty much something going on almost all the time here. But on the other hand, the cost of living is so fucking high, and it is because of vulture capitalists preying on the civilians of this neighborhood. And that's why I do give a huge shout out to the various activist groups in the area. And while they're not united on every issue, it's just that these activist groups are an absolute lifesaver for so many of the people in this neighborhood, especially housing unions, the Los Angeles Socialist Rifle Association, the Los Angeles John Brown Gun Club, the People's City Council, and most importantly, the various police abolitionists who are actively cop-watching the Los Angeles Sheriff Deputy gangs within the Los Angeles Police Department. Of course, I am by no means addressing all of the necessary organizations that are great for what makes the activist scene so prevalent in Los Angeles, but I am saying that if you are in LA, especially now more than ever before with the housing crisis going up further and further, it is important to be prevalent in the activist scene for that very reason. Anyway, I'm looking for something right now. I remember back like in 2020, I found this mural, and I want to see if I can find the mural before I leave Los Angeles for good. If memory serves me well, it is on Westlake and 7th Street. Aha, there's 7th Street, and aha, there's Westlake. And I think I found it. This right here is Juan Gabriel. He's a pretty big deal in the Latin American world, but my grandfather was a huge fan of him, and his song Aquí Fue, which I believe is about a romantic breakup, really resonated with my divorced grandfather. Anyway, that's what I did while Donald Trump was getting arrested.
I did everything right and they indicted me.